Yeah, I have installed Katalon tool.
Okay.
Then tried one of the scenario. Yesterday I was telling you, right? I want to add a team member
Uh-huh.
to team member for the account. Same issue I'm having. I'm trying to see XPath. Do you want me to share my screen or we have a time?
Okay, go ahead. You can share your screen.
Okay. Tab window. This. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. It's loading. Yeah, now I see.
Okay. Okay. So let me open my application. I'm trying to see. Let me rerun it. Maybe we can use it. So Chrome app is opened. So I'm on the 10th step.
Okay.
There
But
it is.
why is the browser not coming up?
Yeah, it's failing basically. Oh, maybe I'm not sharing the browser.
Okay, you have to share the entire screen so I can see the application also.
Yeah, I clicked on entire screen only. Let's see. Entire screen. 1 second, it is loading. Now I got it. Can you see now?
It's loading up. Not yet. I don't see your screen.
Sorry, an error occurred. Okay. What happened?
I still don't see your screen share.
Can you see now? Maybe it's loading. Okay, it's not letting me share. Sorry, error has occurred when screen sharing. That's the message I'm getting.
But why? That should not happen, right?
Let's see. One more time I'm trying. I think it's starting now.
Now I see Katalon Studio. Show me the browser application once.
I'm moving it and it's. Can you see now?
I still see Katalon only. Minimize Katalon Studio.
Yeah.
I still see your Katalon Studio job progress window. Now I don't see anything.
Okay. I'm sharing my entire screen. Okay. So okay, this one. Now it's a Salesforce application. I think I can't share both the screen at a time.
Okay, now I see Salesforce.
Okay. So in Salesforce, I wanted to click on add team member. When I click on add team member, the user will be looked up. For example, if I select the Kevin and then from here, team roles, from the drop down, select one of the team role and click on save. That's the test case.
Okay, that you wanted to come up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you recorded, it did not work?
Actually, here I think I need to change now. Now you might see only Salesforce application. So here it has a Chrome tab, window, entire screen for sharing. I'm selecting the entire screen.
Then you click on the entire screen pop up inside entire screen. Then click on share button.
Yeah, okay. It's still loading.
You have to select entire screen tab and then entire screen option inside it and then click on share.
Entire screen tab. Yeah, I clicked on it and I selected the screen too. It has two screens now.
And you have to click on share button.
Okay. So can you see two screens now?
Yes,
I think you can see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So here, if we see, I given the delay for 4 seconds. Otherwise, it's not recognizing the accounts tab here. And then here it is failing actually. After selecting the account, from the account object, it is selecting the record as well. And it's not able to locate the add team member here as a click. So if I give a enhanced click, does it work? I
understood. I think enhanced click also may not work here.
Mm-hmm.
What you have to do is there is something called select class. Type SR, go for select class.
Mm-hmm.
Select option by value.
Okay.
Try this one and give the object repository, and whatever input you want to select, you have to put it in the input column.
Okay, this one, right? So I want to select Kevin's. Do you want me to add this Kevin sales user in the input?
In the input, you can put Kevin name as it is, the way it looks there. And the object repository, meaning the XPath or whatever you have captured of that field, that you have to give it in the object.
Okay. So for example, Kevin is here.
Copy it, or just you type it as it is.
Yeah. Already it is there.
No, not here. You have to give the value in the input.
Yeah,
Then,
I'm just okay, let me go here and get the Kevin sales user. Sales user.
no, in the 12th row, select option by value you have to give. In the input section of select option by value, there you have to give under string, first one.
Should I remove this false one?
No, let it be.
Okay.
And is the object repository correct? Whatever you gave in the second column.
Yes.
Button,
yes.
edit, user.
Yeah. I think they are correct.
So wherever you have a lookup field or wherever you have a drop down, think of this select option, select a class.
Select option by value. So even for drop down also, what is the value for drop down?
Same, select option by value. You have select option by value, select option by index, select option by in label. So when I teach you these things, you will understand it.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll try this. Then we can continue the class. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I hope my screen share is visible.
Yeah, it started.
Yeah. So yesterday we have seen the web locators techniques, right? So we have seen using the browser dev tools. That is one option. The second option is we have seen a plugin called Selectors Hub, which is a plugin available for Chrome browser, Firefox browser, and I prefer Chrome plugins. I have installed Chrome browser. The third option we have is using Katalon Studio tool only. You can find the XPath or the CSS attribute or any other attribute. So using Katalon Studio also we can find, and the feature name is spy. So if you spy on the objects, you can find out their attributes. So I can show you how we can do it. For that, first we have to open Katalon Studio. So I'm launching Katalon Studio on my computer. And while Katalon Studio is opening, we have successfully installed it yesterday. So this portion, we can just ignore it. And I guess you have already signed up and signed in into Katalon Studio, right? To access the features.
Expiration will be next month, 27th.
Okay. So Katalon Studio is running. Yeah. So we have the starting page of Katalon Studio. And in the moment you log in for the very first time, Katalon Studio will give you a walkthrough using these little pop-ups. I'll close it. Yeah. So here they give us the path, how you can, the hierarchy, how you can automate your projects. So there is a quick menu and everything given here by them. So we'll close all these things. And this is the starting page which comes up. So again, so I also have the same message. This will expire by Feb 28th. So I'll close this. So now, before I talk about this Katalon Studio Spy, let me see if I can directly. Yeah, okay, we have it here. So once you are in your Katalon Studio, click on this action menu. Under the action menu, you have the feature called spy. So spy is like eyeing on something. And then it gives us two options. If you want to spy a website application, go for first option. If you want to spy a mobile application, go for this option. We wanted to spy a web application to know its path. I mean, to know the web locator. So click on spy web.
Yeah.
And you see a small window here. Here you have to supply the URL of the application for which you want to find the attributes. So let us identify any one application which is available on the internet. So let's say I will go to an application like
you can go to test.salesforce.com.
okay, test.salesforce.com. Okay, so let's say I wanted to identify the username, password, and whatever objects I have, I wanted to this one. So I'll copy this URL, minimize it. So in the objects by window, you have to provide the URL so that Katalon Studio only will open this on its own browser. So here on the right hand side, you can choose on which browser you want to launch this. So if you want to launch Chrome, choose Chrome. If you want to launch Firefox or Chromium or Edge or Internet Explorer, you can choose any of the browsers. And the properties of the elements will not change on the browser. So whatever ID attribute, name attribute the developer has defined, it will be the same for all the browsers. Okay. So choose any browser, that's your choice. So I'm clicking on Chrome. So immediately a Chrome browser will launch and it will take me to test.salesforce.com. So this window will be here only. It won't be going away. So it is going to spy now. You see a red color line is coming and it started spying. So now Katalon Studio is saying, do you want me to capture username? And if I scroll down, it says, do you want me to capture password or login or remember me or the checkbox or forgot your password, everything. First, I want username. So come to username box and just right click in the username box and click on an option called capture object. So this is Katalon Studio icon. So click on capture object. And you see here the attributes have come. So this is username. Okay, so it captured the XPath here, and here we can see all the attributes. So if we maximize this, so it captured XPath in 4 ways. The first one is the relative XPath. Then you have another relative XPath. Then you have the absolute XPath. So 4 different XPaths is captured by Katalon Studio. And here you have attributes radio button. If you click on attributes, you can see the tag attribute is captured, class attribute, type attribute, name attribute, ID attribute, XPath also captured. And if you click on CSS, it captured the CSS also hash username. So all the attributes are captured. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let us capture password. Right click on password, click on capture object. And now you will see here. Okay, it did not capture. I'll try one more time. Right click, capture object. Right click, capture object. One second, let me close it. And let me do it again. Start, I'll say. So right click on any object, capture object. Yeah, password is captured. Right click on login button, capture object. Login is captured. Let's say I wanted to capture the remember me checkbox also. Right click, capture object. And you wanted to capture forgot your password. Right click, capture object. You want to capture username. Right click, capture object.
Okay.
Once you are done, you can see here only. So let's say I click on password. So all the XPath attributes are here. And if you click on attributes, you have the tag, class, type, ID, name, attribute, etc. Their values are also here. If you click on CSS, CSS attribute is here. Then if I click on login button, the login XPath attributes, the normal attributes, the CSS attribute. Then password remember me text box, they are also captured. And forgot your password is also there. Here you see it contains the link text, which is one of the attributes that I was talking about. So this is the link text, href. And then the CSS attribute, and then for username. And sometimes we are like doubtful, is it really correct? Then what you do is go to anyone. Let's say I'm clicking on password login. Okay, there's a login button. And at the bottom, I have verify and highlight. So click on this verify and highlight. And you see login button is blinking.
Yes.
Now I'm clicking on password box and clicking on password in the object repository. Click on verify and highlight. Password box is blinking. Then let's try the remember, verify and highlight. See, remember me checkbox is blinking. Then forgot your password, verify and highlight. So it is clicking. Next, username. Yeah. So that is how you confirm to yourself that it is really capturing the right values. Okay, so I'll close it. So this is another way how you can identify the object repositories. So these are the 3 ways that you should use in your Katalon Studio tool for automation. Now, which is better? I would say this is better. This is best, I would say. And this is good. For immediate support, you can go for browser DevTools. If you have Katalon Studio already installed, always go for this option. This is better.
Okay.
Okay. So with this, we have successfully discussed chapter 1 and chapter 2. Very simple and straightforward topics only. And we'll do a quick walkthrough of the Katalon Studio tool also, so that we understand it. Now, on the left-hand side, you have the Test Explorer. So this is the main thing with which you will be automating your web application. Now, the profiles section is used for, so I'll write down here. So the profiles section is used for creating environment variables. And this section can also be used to test your automation code to point to dev server or to QA server or to production server. So same code should point to 3 different servers and you should be able to execute it. That is what environment variables or profile section will talk about. Then you have test cases here. This is where you will write all your automated test steps using keywords or Groovy scripting. Then you have object repository. So object repository is the area where the definition of each object and its web locators is defined. Like we used Katalon Studio spy feature, right? We saw so many XPath attributes, normal attributes, CSS attributes. So all those attributes, when you click on save button, they will come under object repository. Then you have test suites. So whenever you want to work with combination of test cases, like I want to combine 3 test cases and execute it. So that's where test suite comes into picture. Then below it, you have data files in the left side here. So data files is used to supply your test data in a CSV file or Excel sheet and conduct data-driven automation testing. Meaning test the same thing. Like instead of Kevin, you want to test it for 3 different names. So that is nothing but your data-driven testing.
Okay.
Then we have keywords. So under keywords, I can create my own keyword, meaning custom keywords. Meaning when I write 20 lines of code, I can convert 20 lines into just one single keyword. And every time, instead of writing 20 lines of code, I'll just call that single keyword and the keyword will internally execute those 20 lines of code. Then you have test listeners here. Listeners is used as TestNG annotation framework. So this is something Selenium uses. And this is used to prioritize a test case or deprioritize a test case. Then we have reports. So this is where you can see your HTML test report, PDF test report, CSV test report, XML test report. All the reports will be available to you. Then you have plugins. All the plugins that you have installed will come over here. Like additional software that you want to install on your tool will come here. Okay. And at the bottom, you see the troubleshooting area where you see problems, event log, console, the log viewer. So this is the area where you can see the troubleshooting aspects. And
there is a checkpoint.
Checkpoints is actually a little outdated topic, but I can talk about what is it.
Okay, outdated. Okay.
We do not use it most of the times. Checkpoints is like, let's say now when I'm running my Salesforce application, let's say this is the test.salesforce.application. So my developer told me that, Kiran, this is a stable build and this is how exactly the login page should look like. So using these checkpoints, I will take a screenshot of this particular area.
Okay. We are using basically our customers is asking us to capture this screenshot.
Screenshot during execution process?
Yes.
That is different. That I will teach you.
Okay.
Checkpoints is little different. So what checkpoint says is, it will take a picture of this area, and when it is running the execution, it will check whether during the execution process, the taken screenshot is same as what it is seeing during execution process. So it is going to compare the actual result and expected result. So for that reason, we use checkpoints. But very initially they gave checkpoints, but later on we have so many other methodologies within Katalon Studio to use checkpoints in a different way, which I'll show you in the upcoming classes.
Okay.
Now coming to the different options that you have in the Katalon Studio. So we'll start with file menu. So from new menu, you can create a new project, which we are going to do today. You can create a folder structure if you want. You can create a new test case, a new test suite, or a test suite collection, or a web object, or a test data you can create, or a keyword you can create, or a checkpoint you can create from the file new action. If you want to open your existing projects, you click on open project. And we have a lot of settings and keywords which Katalon Studio is providing to us. So I'll show you how to get there also. And then under the action menu, if you are working with APIs, then this API tab will be used. And just now we saw spy web is used to spy the elements in the web application. And when you want to start the record and playback, you can come to action menu, click on record and record the web application or record your mobile application. And this is for adding a new custom keyword. When I teach you custom keywords, this I'll show you. And this run section is used to run your recorded script on any browser of your choice. So you can choose the browsers of your choice here. And this option is used to run and debug at the same time. So run will only run and tell you errors. Debug will run and tell you maybe additional reasons why it is failing.
Okay.
Then you have the edit menu, undo and redo. Then you have project. And if you can click on refresh, this entire project gets refreshed. And any new things that you have added or deleted will be updated. And then you have settings that you can specifically do for your project. So click on settings and you get a window here. We will talk about all these options a little later, but this is where you can update the settings for your project. Okay, so database related you put here, network related you put here, execution related settings you put here, email related you put here, test design related you put here. Like that, there are so many settings that we will apply slowly. So for now, we can close this window. Then you have a debugging option. So this is used to debug your code, why it is failing and where it is failing. Then under desktops, you have Katalon desktops. I told you this is another tool given by Katalon Studio where you can see a centralized dashboard. So if I click on Katalon desktops, it will take me to the browser. And it will try to log me in if I'm not logged in. So it is asking me to log in. And later on, it will tell me the reports and everything once I execute it. So we'll come here a little later again. Then you have the themes. Again, this is not necessary. Don't change this. You can prefer a dark theme or a light theme. And then you have the color of your Katalon Studio changes. Right now, we are in the light theme. Then you have Katalon Studio preferences. This is the settings for the entire tool. For all the projects, you can change any of your settings here if you want. The default settings are always good, so I don't change anything here. And then you have tools, plugins. So if you want to install any plugin, you can come here. But instead of this, there is another way, which I'll show you. And this is used to update the drivers of your browsers. Again, I'll talk about this when it fails. This, we don't need it. Then you have help. And here you can figure out what is the version of Katalon Studio you have. And if you want a walkthrough of the tool, just click on the Studio walkthrough. And you will get a tab for Studio walkthrough. And you can click on this replay. And it will replay everything. So I will cancel it for now. So very simple options only. If you want the start page to be displayed, click on start page. And you will get this start page. And error logs are also there. So if you click on it, whatever errors you are getting, you can see all those errors here. It's a log file. If you want a tutorial on how to work with Katalon Studio, come to tutorial, click on this web UI. And here you get a tutorial. And let's say you don't know how to execute a test suite. So click on this. And they'll give you some steps here. You have to read it and practically do it. So that's how it will work. Okay, I'll close this. Yeah, that's it. That's a small, quick walkthrough. So what we are going to start off with is, we will start off with chapter 4 actually. Chapter 3, we will understand it slowly. So in Katalon Studio, you can automate it using record and playback option. That is what I'm going to show you. You can also automate it using the keywords. There are a lot of keywords given by Katalon Studio. So on the left side, next to this test explorer, You see there is a small button called Keywords Browser. And if you click on it, you see this Keywords Browser. And if you click on this built-in keywords, for web applications, there are certain keywords. If you expand it,
Yeah.
you can see the keywords related to alert class. You can see the keywords related to attribute class, browser class, checkbox class, etc. And whatever I gave you, select class, right, for your Salesforce application, this is the one. Select option by value, select option by label, select option by index. So if you explore this combo box, you'll understand it. And for mobile users, these are the keywords given under mobile.
Okay.
For API users, you have web service keywords. You can see here. Like this. Okay, so these are the built-in keywords. So when I use keywords, then I will be teaching this introduction to Katalon Studio keywords. Okay, and then you have understanding Katalon Studio script mode. So whenever we record anything or we use keywords, the script automatically gets generated, and the script language Katalon uses is Groovy scripting. So that is nothing but Groovy script. I'll show it to you in small few minutes. First, we will talk about easy options so that you can probably use it in your projects, which is Katalon Recorder tool. So before I talk about Katalon Recorder tool, we need to create a project. Until now, we did not create a project. So what I'll do is I'll click on File menu. I'll click on New. Under New, I'll click on Project. I get a new project window. And I will call this as 7 a.m. project. Because I'm teaching you at 7 my time. So that is the name I'm giving, 7 a.m. dash project. And here you have to choose what type of automation you are doing. If I'm doing web application automation, I'll choose web. If I'm doing API automation, I'll choose this. If I'm teaching you mobile automation, I'll choose mobile. If I'm doing Windows application, I'll choose desktop. If you don't know what to choose, click generic. But since I'm choosing web application, since I'm teaching web applications, I'll choose web application, the web automation. And this is the path where my source code will be saved. And if you want to change this, you can also change this anytime. Let's say I want to change this. So you can click on Browse. And you can go to Downloads. Kiran. And let's say inside Katalon I want. So this is the path where I want. Then you can click on this also. So it will say that, okay, in this path, I will put all the source code. Okay. And here you have a description field if you want. So I can say, this is for practice. And click on OK button. So a new project 7 a.m. will be created. And immediately you see it is also trying to integrate the Katalon test operations tool. Because whatever execution I do from today onwards, those reports will be automatically saved in test ops integration. Okay. We'll wait until this window comes up. So it gives me an error that you currently have no teams to work on. Please contact your admin. I will fix this problem later. We actually don't need it right now. So what I'll do, I'll simply click on Go to Project. Ignore it. Click on OK or just close it. Now my project is ready. And I can close this also. Yeah, so now we are in our new project, which is 7 a.m. project. You see on the top, it says 7 a.m. project. And if I go to my computer path, I should see that project should be created. So under Downloads, Kiran, Katalon, you see 7 a.m. project is created. And you see all the files are here, meaning all the default files will be here. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll close all the tabs. And I would like to show you how recording can be used. So for recording, I would like to take this sample application. So this one, test.salesforce.com. So I'll copy this URL. And to start with recording, what you can do is first create one test case. So come to this test cases, right click on the test case folder, click on new. And here you can create a folder structure and keep your test cases inside the folder or directly create a test case. So first I'll create a folder. And the folder name you can give. So since I'm teaching you Salesforce application, I'll give the folder name as Salesforce application. And you see a folder is created. Now I will right click on the folder, click on new, and write a new test case. So this test case, I'll call it as test case 1 for login. And if you can also want, you can give a description. So I'll say this test case is used to test the login functionality of the Salesforce test application, and click OK. And the test case 1 has been created and the editor has come on the right side. Now we want to record this process of launching the application and putting a username and a password. So what I'll do, I'll go to this action menu and go for the record option and ensure that you are highlighting your login test case. So action, record, and we are recording web application. So click on record web and you get a small window. You can click on expand. So all the steps that is recorded will come here. By default, there is a sample application already there. Remove it and paste whatever you copied, which is test.salesforce.com. Choose the browser on which you want to start it. If you want Chrome browser only, just click on this record button. Now Salesforce application will launch on the Chrome browser, which is controlled by Katalon Studio. And you see 2 steps got recorded. First step is open the browser. Second step is navigate to this URL. Third step is I have to type the username and the password. Now I don't have what is the username and password, but still I can try any wrong username and password because my job is to just test the functionality. So I will say the username is Kiran and the password is also Kiran. Okay? And I'll click on login to Sandbox. And I got an error. It's fine. And I want to check whether this error is really coming or not when I give a wrong username and password. Then you can right click on that error and you will see some options. Come to Katalon Studio. Inside Katalon Studio, you have so many options. Like what I want to validate here, right click Katalon Studio. I want to validate the error message. So verify the text, verify element present. Let us see, wait for element visible present. Okay, let us choose this one, verify the text present, verify element text, which means I want to check for that error message. Okay, so click on verify element text. And here the script has been added. That's it. I want to stop my recording. So in the same window, you have a stop button here. So click on stop recording. And once you click on stop recording, you will see all the steps here. So step 1 is open the browser. Step 2 is navigate to this particular URL, which is this test.salesforce.com. Step 3 is set the text, meaning enter the text called Kiran in which field? In the username field. So this is the attribute for username text box. Then set an encrypted password because the password is coming as dots, right? So it took encrypted password. And Kiran has been converted to encrypted password. And the field name where you have to enter is input password. Then you are clicking on login button. After you click on login button, we are getting an error. So this right click got unnecessarily added. I don't want this step. So select it, click on remove. Then verify the element text. So I want to verify that this text is present. Please check your username and password. And if you want to close the browser, you click on close browser. What I'll do, I'm okay with these things. So I'll click on save script. And this is the object repository created when the recording action took place. The object spy also came into picture. The web spy also came into picture. And it detected what is the username, what is the password box, what is the login button. It detected all those things. So don't do anything. Just click on OK button to save these objects inside this object repository. Yeah. So here you see the test case steps. And under object repository, you see everything got captured. So this is the login button. This is the password box. This is the username box. And this is the element where the error message is there. Okay. So what is open browser? Let us say you don't understand what is this open browser. It is a keyword present in Katalon Studio that will open an empty browser. And when you mouse over, you get this little pop-up. And here you can read it. Opens the browser and navigates to the specified URL. If URL is left empty, it just opens browser.
Okay.
Then navigate to URL. This keyword is already there in Katalon Studio. Its job is to take you to the specified website on the browser which is already open. So this will navigate to the specified page. Then a set text. It is a keyword that is used to enter some value in a given text box. The value you have to enter will be in input section, and where you have to enter will be in object section. So set encrypted text is enter the text only, but in a format which no one understands. What is that you have to enter? This value XQP, where you should enter in a field identified by input underscore PW. Then you have to click. Where you have to click? On a button identified as input underscore login. One more keyword, verify the text in a given element. What element identified by this name and what text with this name. Finally, close the browser. Now you might say, how does Katalon identify the username text box? So it says under object, input dash username is the object name. So come to input username under object repository and double click on input username. So here it tells you that this is the XPath we have captured for username text box. And there are 4 other XPaths also captured by Katalon Studio. Now you pick which one you want. Katalon says, I recommend this. That's why it got selected this one. Using the ID attribute, the XPath has been created. If you want to see another attributes, click on these attributes. And you can see the remaining attributes also here. And if you want CSS, you can see the CSS attribute. So I would recommend always go for XPath. Let XPath be selected. So these are the paths identified by Katalon Studio during the recording process using your object spy or web spy and created the object repository. Similarly, input password. If you double click, you can see the XPath and all those values. Similarly, if you come to login, you can see all those XPaths for login. And this one also, you can see this is the error element. So if you want to rename them, let's say these names are not clearer to you. So I can rename this. So this is login button, right click on rename. And you can simply say this is login button and input underscore PW, right click. And you can click on password text box and input username box. And this one is the error, right? So I can simply say error element. So this messages now looks neat. And here also the names automatically gets updated immediately. I hope you understood and followed me, right?
Yes, yes.
If you want a description, you can write on the right side also. So here you can click on description and say step 1, open an empty browser. And step 2, takes the user to the mentioned URL. Step 3, enter the input text in username text box. Step 4, enter the input text in password text box in encrypted format. Step 5 is click on login button. Step 6 is verify if an error is displayed. Step last is close the browser. Now save your work, click on file menu, click on save all. Now I want to execute this automation script. So to execute it, what you can do, click on action menu, click on run and choose any browser on which you want to run. I want to run on Chrome browser, so click on Chrome. Chrome browser has launched. The user has been taken to test.salesforce.com. You got an error and the browser is closed. And here you see, I see a small window called job progress. This is where you see the execution status. And it says it has passed on Chrome browser.
Mm.
And at the bottom, you can see the logs.
Yeah.
Right. So here you can see open the browser. And if you click on open browser, so it tells that browser is opened with empty URL. And the time taken to open the browser is 3.1 seconds.
Mm.
Second step is navigated to URL. So here what happened also, it will tell you navigated to this successfully. And to navigate to that website, it took 3.6 seconds. Third step is text. Kiran is set on the object, meaning Kiran has been written on this particular text box. Time taken to enter Kiran as the username in the text box is 0.9 seconds. Then one more, it tells that the password has been set and the password is not displayed. And the time taken to type the password is 0.4 seconds. Then to click on the login button, it took 2 seconds. To verify if the error is coming or not, it took 0.9 seconds. And finally, to close the browser, it took 0.3 seconds. And it also tells you what happened. So the actual result is also displayed here.
Mm.
Okay. So this is one way how you can view the log viewer. Okay. There is another way how you can see the log viewer. See here, if you see, there is a tree view icon you see, right? If I click on it again, it will change to another way. So there is two ways. One is tree view, the other is list view. So now I'm showing you the tree view. So here also you can see, if you want to see this in maximized window, double click on log viewer.
Mm.
It comes here and you can see first open the browser, then Chrome browser came. And this is the version of Chrome browser launched on my computer. And it was launched on Windows 10. And behind the scenes, Selenium version 3.141.59 is being used by Katalon Studio. And it says in green line that browser is opened with empty URL and the level has passed, meaning that step has passed.
Mm.
All the green lines are passed. You can also filter it on the left hand side. If I just remove all and click on past, you see only the past steps will be displayed. So you can filter the logs to display only the passes. And if you want to see anything failed, click on failed. Nothing failed. I want to see only errors. We did not get errors during execution. Warnings, no warnings. Let's say I wanted information messages. So there are two information messages like starting the Chrome driver, etc. Okay. So now if I click on all, you will see everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you want to minimize this log viewer, double click on log viewer.
Mm.
And this log viewer, we cannot save it. Like you cannot save this thing. You cannot save this onto your computer. And when I run it one more time, this will be cleared, meaning this will be deleted from the Katalon Studio. So this is not a report. This is only the logs to help you understand what happened when the execution started and when the execution ended. Now I want to test this on another browser, not only Chrome. I want to test it on Firefox. So same script, you can come to action menu, run, and choose Firefox browser. So job progress is running on Firefox. And you see it failed on Firefox.
Mm.
Now we have to figure out why it is failing on Firefox. Reason one could be Firefox is not installed probably on your computer. So let us go and see whether I have Firefox installed or not. Yeah, I have Firefox. So let me open it and see if it's working or not. Yeah, it's working. And can I navigate to any other browser? Like let's say I wanted to navigate to Wikipedia. Okay, it's working. So my browser is working for sure. Okay, the browser is working. Let me run one more time and see. Action, run on Firefox. It's trying to open, but it's failing. So let me double click on log viewer and see why it is failing. And I see this red color, and let's try to see the reason. Unable to open the browser. See, caused by cannot find Firefox binary in the path. Make sure Firefox is installed. Operating system appears to be Windows 10. Okay, there is a problem with Geeko driver. Okay. Okay, so whenever these errors happen, like unable to launch the browser used by Katalon, but the browser is opening, but Katalon is unable to do it, what I do is I go to Tools menu and I come to Update Web Drivers and I'll click on Firefox. Then what Katalon Studio will do is it will check whether it can download a driver from the internet which can be compatible with my Firefox browser installed on the computer. Okay, so this is kind of debug activity. So I will click on Tools, Update Web Drivers, click on Firefox. And now Katalon will try to see if it can fix the problem on its own by updating the web driver. So if it works, it will work. If it still does not work, then I have to uninstall Firefox, install another version, and then do this update web driver one more time. Right now, I see a confirmation message. You see, web driver has been updated successfully.
Okay.
So click on Finish. And let's close Firefox. Let me open Firefox again and see. Some errors. Yeah, so this is working. Now let me run one more time and see. Click on Action menu, run, choose Firefox. If it still doesn't work, then it is a system issue. I have to uninstall Firefox, reinstall, and see if that works. Same problem, you see, again it is failing. So this updating the web drivers also did not solve the problem. So now I have to uninstall Firefox and I have to install it. And sometimes your system administrator might have disabled the updates also. That could also be another reason why it is failing. So we'll ignore this Firefox now. Let me see if I can run on any other browser. Usually on personal laptop, it will work. This is my client computer. So that's why I'm having security issues. Let's say I want to run this on Edge browser. So I'll click on Edge Chromium and see if it works. Okay, Edge has opened. And it's opened the website, put the username, password. We got the error. The browser is closed and it has passed on Edge browser. So this is working on two different browsers. My script is working. Katalon Studio is working. So now let's not say that the script is failing on Firefox. It is a compatibility issue on my computer between Katalon Studio tool and the Firefox browser.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we do the record and playback. What I'll do is I'll quickly show you one more scenario and then we'll wind up the class for today. So I want to create a second test case. I'll right click on my folder and click on test case. I'll say this is my second test case called forgot password. Description, if you want to write, you can write. This test case is to check if forgot password functionality is working. Okay. And I want to again open the action menu, record web application. And again, I want to go with the same application, test.salesforce.com, and I'll click on record button. It will take us to test.salesforce.com. That is step 1. Step 2 is click on forgot your password. And here you have to put the username. So I'll put my username as kiran@salesforce.com and I'll click on continue. And I want to check this message, check your email. So I want to see whether this message has come or not. So right click, Katalon Studio. Okay, this I have to hide it. So right click, Katalon Studio, verify element text. And let's say you want to check this entire window also. Right click, Katalon Studio, verify element text. And after that, I want to stop the recording and click on save script. And this is the object repository created for identifying forgot password. Just click on OK. And this is my test case, forgot your password. Open the browser, take me to test.salesforce, click on forgot password, then enter the email as kiran@salesforce, click on continue button. Then I don't want to right click because this is only for us. So I'll remove the deletes. I will click on delete button to remove sixth step. Then I'm verifying the first error, check your email. Then I'm checking the second error. Then we are closing the browser.
Okay.
And here, if you want to rename things, you can rename anything that you want. So here it is continue. So this is the continue button. So I can rename this as continue button. And this is area where you are entering the username text box. Username text box. And this is check your email error message. So I'll call this as error 1, not error. This is information, right? Or let it be check your email message. Give any name to the object repository, only if you want to change it, else don't change it. This is confirmation message, I'll call. So it looks little short and sweet. And these are the things. Now let us run this and see if it works.
Okay.
Now to run this, you also have a button here.
Yeah.
So here, from here, I want to run on Chrome browser. And yes, we got all the messages, but looks like some errors are there here. I see red color. So the browser is also not closed. So verify element did not work. Check your email did not work, I guess. So I can go to log viewer and see what all passed. So check your email message has passed. And we have sent you an email link to finish resetting your password. So this text has got changed, I guess, on the application during the execution process by Katalon Studio tool. So that's why it has failed. So let's run on, let's do one thing. I'll change the username now. Instead of Kiran, I will say, let's say Gopika. Save it. Run on, let's say, Edge browser now. Username is entered. It clicked on still loading. Clicked on continue. Yeah, I think this message I should I have done this entire box. I should do 3 different boxes if I want to. That's why it is failing.
Okay.
So here, see, it is getting in different values, right? This ordering is different and this ordering is different. So this step, I will remove it. And it will work next time onwards when I run it. So I'll quickly run on Chrome and see. This time it should work.
This time I think it worked.
Yeah, now it worked. Okay. So like this, we can use the record and playback options, and you will see the script coming up. So this is like the basic thing that we do to understand how the application is working.
Okay.
So tomorrow onwards, what we will do is we will start working on the keywords directly. That will help you in your project also.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have one question. Actually, the one I tried, right? I tried with Kevin sales user. That got failed, and in XPath it is showing 3 XPaths. One is relative, and one is position, and another one is custom one. It took the relative one, but you told me like shortest one is the best one to enter, right?
Correct. Something like @ID equals to @name equals to, those are the relative XPaths.
Yeah, that is the relative. It took that one and it got failed.
It got probably failed because either the object is not correct or the value we are typing is also probably not correct.
Okay. Got
So
it.
that you have to do one thing. You do record and playback once and see what is happening and just observe it.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe next time I'll copy from the URL, then we'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.